Okay. Good day, everyone. I would like to adopt the protocol established, and I would like to thank you all for being here today and for actually taking a step to making your dreams a reality. I would like to tell you a story about a dreamer. This dreamer went to school in St. Lucia, like many of us. They went through the primary level, the secondary level, and the tertiary level. Whilst going to school, they found their interest. They found that they had a knack for certain areas, certain subjects, which really sparked them to move in that direction. As they continued on their journey, they realized that there were certain problems that they constantly faced. There were certain issues that needed solving. They really wanted to make a difference. And they were wondering why other people were not solving this issue. So they embarked upon a journey. They picked this problem. And they decided to actually make a difference. They spoke to their friends, their family members, their aunts, their uncles, their cousins, their neighbors, and asked them, why haven't you tried to solve this problem? What have you done to try to solve this problem? This was their data gathering stage. And at that point, they got certain feedback from these people. Equipped with this feedback, they now wanted to put everything together. They spent many sleepless nights analyzing data, going through stacks and stacks of paper, writing ideas out, and they came up with a solution. This solution would really make a difference in not just their lives, but the lives of every single member of their community. Now, they ask themselves, what do they need to build out this innovative solution? And by asking themselves what do they need, the question of who do they need popped up as well. In that, they presented their solution to a slew of people. And out of these numbers, one person came out. And this person actually complemented the first dreamer. And this person became their co-founder. One had now become two. These two dreamers continued the journey. They embarked upon a process of building out their solution. But guess what? They didn't have the money to do so. So to raise money, they spoke to their friends and family members to try to convince them to invest in their crazy idea. Some family members invested, some did not. Some said, yes, I'll get back to you, but never did. But they continued anyway. They used this initial investment to build out the first version of their project, which is called the minimum viable product. And with this MVP for short, they presented it to the slew of people that they spoke to initially to get their feedback again. But at this stage, they needed to build this solution a lot quicker because people had now shown interest and they needed to execute. So they needed to raise more money. They scoured the internet for opportunities, both local and regional, and came across some grants that the government of St. Lucia had available. They applied and they got access to some more money to build out their solution. With this money, they now were equipped to execute on their dream. They continued their journey and they realized that St. Lucia was just one small market in the Caribbean region. And for them to be as sustainable as possible, they wanted to solve this issue for not just St. Lucians, but people in the Caribbean region and the wider world. But to do so, guess what? They needed more money. So, they now reached out to every single person that they could find involved in the industry, not just in St. Lucia, but throughout the region and around the world. This took them to participate in different events, pitch competitions from Hawaii to Europe, the US, and they met investors, they met mentors, they met people who were interested in supporting this dream and supporting this solution to help it be solved. By measuring what they wanted to achieve, they now knew exactly who in their network to target to really get everything that they needed. They went through the OECS and they happened to forge a relationship with an investor who believed in them. The dream came after, but just because they had taken the initiative to step out, to pursue, and to try to solve something that was very important to their society, the investor believed in them and wrote a check to get them to that next level. Now equipped with money from that investor, they built out their solution and started solving the problem for not just their local community, but the regional market. At this stage, things have scaled. It has gone from 1 to 2 dreamers to now a team of over 50 people. This team has grown, and this culture of the team has also equipped every single one of them to be a dreamer themselves. Because it's not just about you having a vision and driving it to solve a problem. It's about how many lives can you impact? How many lives can you change? How many people can you encourage to also be dreamers and to act on their dreams? This was my story as well. And I went through this process, and it was really, really hard. It was not an easy one. It took a lot of patience. It took a lot of sleepless nights. It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, literally. But here I stand today, being your keynote speaker at this innovation event. We live in a very special time, a time where we have access to the world from our smartphones. And we have to take full advantage of the technology that we have at our fingertips. Because just years ago, the power that you have in your smartphone that you hold in your hand today, it took an entire room. Think of it. Think of an entire 40-foot container to power something that you have in your hand today. you have to take advantage of social media, which these dreamers did. And they looked at social media not just as something to post to their friends, but something to find opportunities. So they didn't just follow other people's business. They followed the pages that were of interest to them, their industry, and would help them to network with the right people to get this solution off the ground. And by moving forward with this type of initiative, they moved into an innovative solution. Right now, we live in a very special time with the introduction of artificial intelligence. And we live in an age where in the next decade, we will make as much progress as we have made in the past century. And you are now standing at the cusp of history. So it's up to you to decide what innovative project, what solution will you continue to pursue to make a difference in not just your life, but the life of every single person around you and around the world. You are only limited by your mindset. You are only limited by how big you think. Whether you want a $5 million idea, a $100 million idea, or a $1 billion one. The only limitation is your thought. Once you think it, you can achieve it. Elon Musk said that being an entrepreneur is like chewing glass and staring into the abyss. And I know that's kind of dark, but it's the reality. And that is why it is very important for you to love what you are pursuing. Because it's this love and this passion that will keep you going through difficult times. Times when people have turned away from you. Times when people laugh at you. Times when people say, oh, he'll never make it, or she'll never make it. It's this passion and love that keeps you motivated to work through these issues, to work through the problems that you face daily, the highs and lows of business, the highs and lows of dealing with different realms of politicians or of different people in the marketplace, the stresses that you will encounter. It's your love and passion